Hello, Bird community. My name is Rosemary.
And my name is Megan. And today we are standing in front of the Burdick greenhouse, which was built in the spring of 2014, and it's provided us with a bountiful first harvest.
To understand how the greenhouse came about and to get an idea where this project is headed, let's visit Burdick's principal, Mr. Schlegg, and 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Wells.
I contacted Growing Power in Milwaukee, which is an organization that does sustainable farming and locally grown food crops and so forth. And they sent a gentleman out here to school. We talked about it. He said, well, here's the deal. Here's how much it's going to cost. We'll provide the manpower and the directions and the guidance in putting it together. It took about a year to actually put the thing in place, after all the permits and the planning and all this kind of stuff. But we have it in. We have plenty of crops that we're growing. So hopefully we'll grow some strawberries during the winter and grow some new stuff next spring.
What is the purpose of the greenhouse?
The purpose of the greenhouse is to provide an educational opportunity for the students to learn where their food comes from, how to grow it, and then how to take care of it, how to harvest it, and just what kind of nutrients we can grow ourselves. And we want to get the snacks into the classrooms, and also I think it's kind of a community, a way to build community. Lots of people in the area have noticed and are interested in helping out or possibly buying produce. So it's a way to provide education and also bring the community together, I think.
What are the students learning?
The students are learning where their food comes from, how to grow it, what types of plants can grow in this particular weather, how to plant, how to water, how to weed, what is this supposed to look like? You know, what does it look like if the plant is ripe, not ripe, overripe? Which bugs are good, which bugs are bad? How to get rid of pests, and how to keep, how to invite friends, if you will. So, for example, bees. We need the bees. How do we get them to come in? How do we keep, things that are going to eat the plants out? They're definitely learning that. Also, just how to interact with plants in an appropriate way. Sometimes you have to be gentle and sometimes you have to be strong. So kids are learning how to work together, how to take care of their own food, and just what we can grow in Wisconsin when we have a shelter, a greenhouse.
What is done with the food that is grown?
We really have three main ideas for what to do with the food. Our first idea is to get the snacks into the classroom, to get as many kids in our school to enjoy something that we've grown by ourselves. Our second hope is to share the produce with the community by having some sort of food stand or like farmer's market right here at Burdick. And we're hoping to set that up about once a week after school, so that both Burdick families and community members could purchase produce, and that way we could generate a little bit of income to put back into growing seeds and continue to take care of the greenhouse. And our third hope is eventually to possibly sell some of the produce to area restaurants.
What types of plants are planted and grown in the greenhouse?
Basically, we're hoping to have 3 different seasons of growing. In the spring, we hope to plant short season crops that can grow in cooler weather. Spring and fall, we'll plant short season crops that grow in cooler weather, like peas, broccoli, and any type of salad greens. And also the kids will be responsible for doing some research on things that they're interested in growing that can grow in about 60 or 70 days. Then in the summer, we'll grow warm weather crops like tomatoes, peppers, watermelons, pumpkins, things that take 90 or 100 days to grow. And again, we'll try to have the kids do research so that they're really taking ownership of what's being grown, because I find usually the kids are much more interested in partaking in planting, watering, harvesting, if they had some say in what's being grown. And then in the fall, again, we'll go back to the cool weather crops.
How much money is spent on buying supplies for the greenhouse?
At this point, I don't know this answer. because so many people have contributed different, money. Some people have donated seeds. Some people have donated trays for planting seeds. And we have also used many resources in our school. So I'm not sure. I would guess that each season we would probably spend about $200 to plant for all the, it depends on if we grow things from seeds, then it's going to be less expensive. If we grow things from small, already planted seeds, like small, we bought small pepper plants, those are more expensive. So it really varies from season to season. The more planning we do and the more people we get involved, the less it will cost.
Does the greenhouse have to have a stable temperature for the plants to grow?
I would say no. We're somewhat dependent on Mother Nature because we don't have heating or cooling. We don't have heat or air conditioning in the greenhouse. So the plants have, even though we had a very cool summer, the plants grew. And it's going to affect how quickly or how slowly the plants grow. But I wouldn't say it needs an even temperature because one day it might be 50 degrees and one day it might be 70 because it's Wisconsin. And still the plants are going to grow. But obviously the warm weather crops need warm weather, and that's why we plant those in the summer. And the cool weather crops will need cooler weather, otherwise they're going to slow down.
How much water is used to keep the greenhouse healthy?
Usually we water, we usually use a hose. Right now we don't have the irrigation system in yet, but we usually water about every other day, and we usually water each plant for about 10 seconds. So it's hard for me to say how much water is used. I would say each plant gets about 2 gallons of water or so every other day. So if we have about 150 plants in there, so say 300 gallons every other day.
Do you plant according to the seasons and the weather?
Yes, as I mentioned before, we'll have 3 seasons. We'll have a spring crop, a summer crop, and a fall crop. And yes, we must plant things that are appropriate for the heat or the cool weather, depending on the season. And so the cool weather crops are usually shorter number of days, so maybe 60 or 70 days from the time we plant the seed until maturity. We can pick the fruit or vegetable, and hot weather crops are usually going to be more like 90 or 100 days. So yes, we do.
The first harvest is nearly complete, and we look forward to a wonderful 2015 growing season.